This is the NSPN Prep Update, a weekly look at scores, highlights, and stories from across the state. We go to the NSPN studios. Here's your host, Ryan Phelps.
Two great communities separated by just 16 miles of Highway 10, Pillager and Staples-Motley. It's been a back-and-forth rivalry in recent years, and now they meet in Week 7, both undefeated.
Close back-and-forth game as you would expect. Late in the fourth quarter, Cardinals lead by 2. Pillager's Grant Grimsley hands off to Cretin-Derham, who barrels through the line for an 18-yard touchdown. Pillager survives 30-24. Marshall at Fergus Falls. Sometimes play calling can be simple. For Marshall, it's give it to Andrew Stelter. The senior scores here from 30 yards out in the fourth quarter. He would score all 4 Tiger TDs. Marshall stays unbeaten with a 27-14 win. Mahtomedi at Cretin-Derham Hall, tied at 14 in the second quarter. Zephyr fans were brought to their feet when Jackson Mitchell returns this kick 94 yards for the score. Mahtomedi survives a fourth quarter surge by the Raiders. Zephyrs win 28-27. Russell-Tyler-Ruthton at Springfield. Tigers have this game in hand when Parker Keene lofts a 36-yard TD pass to Braxton Brown. Springfield moves to 7-0 and hands RTR just their second loss of the year, 49-0 the final. Mount Iron-Buhl at Braham. With the game getting close to the end, sometimes you try what you can. This squib kick by Mount Iron-Buhl didn't work out as planned as Braham's Tyler Eklund returns the kick 70 yards for the score. Braham wins 50-20. Osakis at St. Cloud Cathedral. Silver Streaks led big early, but now leading by just 5 in the fourth quarter after a comeback by Cathedral. Osakis would put this one away on an 80-yard sprint by Isaac Chisholm, his second touchdown of the night. Osakis wins their 6th of the year, 34-21. Chaska at Waconia. Late in this game, Chaska defense trying to fend off a Waconia drive. Seth Myler seals the deal with this pick, his second interception of the night, and Chaska holds on to win 20-3. Stillwater at Eastridge. Thank you, defense. Blake Reuter intercepts the Ben Fredericks pass, the third Raptor INT of the night to lock down a 21-13 win, their first over Stillwater since 2019. Bloomington Jefferson at Benilde-St. Margaret's, tied at 7 at the half. Red Knights would control from there. From the 1-yard line, Peyton Myers hands off to Robert Schull in motion, around the line and in for some insurance. Jaguars would score late, but BSM wins 19-17. The Crescent-Hokah at Zumbrota-Mazeppa. Let's give some recognition to the offensive line and a classic hook and ladder play. Cougar QB Hayden Boros, quick pass to Ben Flan, who then laterals to O-lineman Gavin Seymour, who does the rest. 7-yard score, and Zumbrota-Mazeppa goes on to win 42-20.
Wabasso High School, home of the Rabbits. They can get you on the ground or through the air. Joseph Rollick leads the team in rushing, but 6 ball carriers have triple digits this year.
But it was hometown Red Rock Central that used their ground attack to upend Wabasso. Carter Thurkelson takes this Abraham Stavnis handoff 22 yards to Paydirt. Falcons win at home 28-14. Jackson County Central at Laverne. Roman Voss from 50 yards finds Evan Bartholomew for the score. Huskies win 44-13, their 20th straight win. We'll have Voss on the show next week. Waseca at Albert Lee. Blue Jays led late. Albert Lee driving until Brady McKenna stops a play action. Waseca wins 35-10 to move to 7-0 on the year. Albert Lee now has lost 2 straight. Byron at Stewartville. Tough battle to keep Byron's perfect record intact. Last play of the game and perhaps the play of the week. Elijah Rodemeyer hits Bo Nicolay, who somehow evades all of the Stewartville defense to score a 39-yard touchdown. Byron wins 29-26. Kingsland at Mabel Canton. Just before halftime, Mabel Canton puts the game away. Isaac Underbaki with a teardrop pass to Cale Tollefsrud in the back of the end zone. Cougars stay perfect, 45-8. Two Harbors at Pequot Lakes. Patriots running back Griffin Hanna sets the pace early with this 60-yard TD run. Patriots are 7-0 after the 41 donut win over Two Harbors. Breck at St. Croix Lutheran. Andrew Peterson takes the give and rumbles 15 yards for the score. SCL with an exclamation point win over Breck 62-15, the most points they've scored in a game this season. Elk River at Monticello. It's not a rabbit out of a hat, but pure magic from running back Cale Holthouse. 45 yards for his second score. Monticello wins 22-14 to notch win number 6. Centennial at Blaine. Great conference matchup here as the Cougars hold on thanks to a late interception. Centennial wins 28-21. Lewiston Altura at Fillmore Central. Falcons keep their record unblemished. Bryden ball to Cody Surfling for a score. Fillmore Central wins 26-7. Chatfield at Caledonia. A lack of upsets? How about Caledonia taking out unbeaten Chatfield? Will Allen to Grant King, and the Warriors victorious 14-0 over Chatfield. Prior Lake at Lakeville South. Triple backfield trickery. Griffin Dean with the carry, 28 yards to the house, and the Cougars win 27-23. Burnsville at Hastings. Midway through the first, Hastings leading. Punt to Zach Shattuck. As Chris Berman would say, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, breaking tackles. It's a 74-yard return for a touchdown. Hastings gets win number 5 on the year, 49-7 over the Blaze. And here's one for you. A nationwide competition is happening right now to help smaller high schools reimagine their stadiums with a $1 million upgrade. Royalton is the only finalist from Minnesota. As of now, it's ranked 8th in the contest. Assistant coach Nick Lanners, who spent hours taking care of the field, passed away this past spring. The school held a T-Mobile Friday night 5G Lights football game sponsored by T-Mobile. School officials said they would use the money to build permanent grandstand seating, among other improvements. Voting is open now through October 24th. It's time for some trivia. Which soccer teams have won the most state championships? Looking for boys and girls. The answer, plus soccer section highlights after the break.
There's a new destination for all things Minnesota high school sports. It's called Strib Varsity. It's from the Minnesota Star-Tribune, so you know it's trusted. With a deep bench to cover all of Minnesota. We've rebuilt and relaunched our MM Prep hubs and added more sports, stories, streams, stats, scores, schedules. We have it all at Strib Varsity. Subscribe today at startribune.com/stribvarsity.
Support your teams and community with NSPN.TV. Enjoy exclusive coverage from Summer Town Ball to high school championships. Plus, feature stories and podcasts that bring you closer to the action. Stay connected with NSPN.TV, your neighborhood sports network.
Welcome back to the all-new NSPN Prep Update. I'm Ryan Phelps. Your trivia question: which soccer teams have won the most state championships? For the boys, it's Apple Valley with 9 from 1984 through 2010. They're followed by Benilde-St. Margaret's with 5, and 5 schools tied with 4: SPA, Burnsville, Edina, Stillwater, and Wayzata. For the girls, Mahtomedi has the most titles from 97 through 2019. They're followed by Wayzata with 7, Woodbury with 5, and Benilde-St. Margaret's with 4.
Soccer sections are winding down with the finals this week. State starts next Tuesday, October 21st. Here are some teams that you might see making a deep run.
We'll start with the girls, Edina and Chanhassen. A penalty kick for the Storms honored Dapp, and she beats the keeper to the left for the goal. Chanhassen advances 3-1 over Edina. White Bear Lake and Woodbury, a playoff game going to overtime. Piper Heinsohn will work the ball down the field and just miss the top of the net, but Grace Werke with the literal heads-up play to lift the Bears to the section championship game, 3-2 over Woodbury. Eastview and Egan. It's always said if you put in the hard work, good things happen. Test triplet of Egan worked on this play and got a little luck sneaking the ball past the right post. Egan moves on with a 3-0 win. Washburn at Rogers. Ashlyn O'Malley of Rogers stepping up when her team needs her. 2 goals in an elimination game. This one with nearly half the opposing team around her. Rogers moves on 2-0. Minneapolis Southwest at Benilde-St. Margaret's. Scoreless through regulation and overtime, this semifinal would be decided on PKs. Tied up after 7 rounds, BSM's Abby Silverman scores to take the advantage. Southwest Gabriella DiFiore steps up and hits the crossbar. BSM advances. Tough way to end the season for the Lakers. Now to the boys, Hill Murray and Cretin-Derham Hall. Just 1 goal is all that's needed to win, and that's all Cretin-Derham Hall would get. Henry Stangler to the left side of the net, and CDH downs Hill Murray 1-0. Apple Valley at Rosemount. When overtime isn't enough, a PK shootout is next. And that's what happened at Rosemount. Matthew DeChild sent the Irish home winners with the top left corner shot. Como Park at St. Paul, Washington. It's hard to beat a team 3 times during the season, and the Eagles found that out against Como Park. Pachi lifts one from 40 yards out, just clearing the crossbar, and the Cougars win 5-1. Armstrong at Rogers. Falcons leaning on Moses Kamara. He scored earlier in the contest and came up big again in overtime. Kamara shadows 2 Rogers players and heads down the field to net his 2nd goal of the game, a 2nd straight upset as Armstrong beat Rogers 2-1. St. Thomas Academy at Simley. Second half corner kick set up by Luis Ramirez Reyes, high and into the box, headed by Spartan leading scorer Elvis Hernandez Paz, and Simley has left the building winners, 1-0 over the Cadets. Champlin Park at Maple Grove. CP had a 2-goal lead in the second half, but Maple Grove didn't give up, and they were rewarded. Osman Toure with the winner, and the Crimson survived 3-2.
At first glance, Anoka's football team looks like almost any other squad in Class 6A. Emphasis on almost. Mike Peden has more.
One of their captains is Deborah Ayeni, a senior who plays defensive line and tight end. It's the result of years on the gridiron.
I started playing football in 7th grade. It mostly started because of my brothers. They were very big in the Anoka football community team. They were both captains on the squad.
She's just the model of what a teammate is and of what you ask a player to be, where all roles matter.
Fitting words for a captain who doesn't lead with statistics. But Deborah doesn't need numbers to command respect.
My son's a junior on the team, and when I asked him last winter who he sees as a leader on the team, he's like, well, Deb's the one who keeps everybody in line, keeps everybody straight.
The leadership she brings, whether that's just talking to us, motivating us, just telling us what we need to hear even when we don't want to hear it, and just bringing that on the field, in the weight room, and just any point of the team, just she always has us on point.
I dedicated a lot of time to this program, and just being able to be with this team, be a leader, seen as a leader on this team, it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity.
Female participation in football is not a foreign concept. Girls flag football became a sport last year, and several women's semi-pro leagues exist around the country. But at the high school level, Deborah is one of a rare few who plays a position outside of special teams.
For sure, 100%. The hardest part is the physicality. I will never be as big as strong as these guys.
Football isn't on Deborah's radar after high school, but scans around Anoka pick up her influence on teammates and coaches alike.
That's my best friend, and I think throughout just playing football together, we've gotten a lot closer. Just all the things we've gone through together, whether that's practices, games, all these just hardships, has just made us much closer. All the workouts, she's a great motivator, and it's just an amazing person.
In Anoka, I'm Mike Peden for NSPN.
There's still one more segment left on the Prep Update. Volleyball highlights are next, plus a look ahead at this week's soccer section finals and a school snapshot with a little luck of the Irish.
New journey.
Division 3 straight to Division 1.
New energy. Same standard.
The Tommies have climbed to the peak of the summit.
And your Pioneer Football League champions wear purple and gray.
No limits. Welcome to St. Thomas Athletics.
The regular season is winding down in volleyball, so these final few matchups will have a big impact on section seeding.
We'll start with Delano at Benilde-St. Margaret's, a match as close as you can get in St. Louis Park. 5th set, Delano getting some momentum. Tigers get a fantastic dig from Kaylin Whitwer, then Caitlin Champeau with the kill, Number 3 Delano survives a scare from 13th ranked BSM 3-2. Eastridge at Cretin-Derham Hall. 2 top 25 teams on win streaks. Number 6 Eastridge winning 8 straight. Number 11 Cretin-Derham Hall with 6 straight. But the Raiders would control the pace. Celia Klein with a high set for Caroline Anatepa. Cretin-Derham Hall wins 3-0 for their 20th win of the season. Plainview Elgin Millville at Lake City. The Tigers controlled the first 2 sets, but PEM made it a game in the third. Paige Lumen serving for the match. Dylan Porish and Faith Bondi with the block at the net to preserve the win. Lake City breaks a 3-game skid to earn their 5th win of the season. Maple Grove at Centennial. Maple Grove up 2-1 with Centennial's McKenna Manthe serving. Crimson's Casey Schulte finishes the rally with a kill. Maple Grove beats Centennial 3-1. They're now 24-3 on the year. New Life Academy versus Benilde-St. Margaret's. BSM played 4 matches in their own Dig Pink invite and won all 4. Sailor Freely with an ace against New Life Academy. Red Knights win 2-0. They have won the Dig Pink invite 5 consecutive years.
Section playoffs begin this week statewide in soccer, and we'll have all the action right here on NSPN.tv. Here are some of our top games to keep an eye on.
We start with some regular season volleyball. Delano, one of the top teams in the state, ranked 3rd. They take on Annandale. On Tuesday, a couple of record breakers. In girls soccer, Madden Greenway, the new record holder. She and Providence Academy take on Heritage Christian. On the boys' side, Jacob Oliver could break the record on Tuesday as he and the Crusaders face Pelican Rapids. And it's MEA, so it's a short week in high school football. On Wednesday night, 2 great matchups, undefeated Spring Lake Park taking on Brainerd, and one of the great rivalries, Dawson Boyd and Minneota. Minneota has the longest winning streak in the state.
It's time for our school snapshot. That's when we get to know the towns and communities outside the playing field. Today we take you to where Irish eyes are smiling.
Rosemount, Minnesota. Located 20 miles straight south of downtown St. Paul on Highway 3. They're old school, quite literally. The school was founded in 1918, and the town has slowly grown up around it, quietly turning into a town of 26,000. But don't tell them that. They embrace their small town roots. They still have a downtown with restaurants and charm. Football games are an event as thousands of fans pack the bowl. The word they use is community. Like the town, the school has grown. They're on the cutting edge in the classroom and otherwise. In fact, they offer just about every course, club, and extracurricular you can find. And some you can't. They currently have over 50 student-led clubs, some rare, like their Star Wars club. But they do know how to build a sports program. Their head coaches are in the building, and they start with the youth. Strolling through the schools, the parks, and the paths, you'll see most of the kids donning their Irish gear. Principal Pete Roback explains, while they've had plenty of success in sport, nothing beats the band.
You have to mention the pride of Rosemount, our marching band. You know, I've lost count now, 16 or 17 years in a row. Have won the state championship. They compete on a national, scale. They're amazing, but they're not what people I don't think realize. That's probably worth mentioning about our marching band. Like, it doesn't happen by accident. These kids love it. They love what they do. They're passionate about what they do, and they may be our hardest working group at Rosemount High School. They put in the time to earn their accolades, and they're really good at it.
That'll do it for this episode of the all-new NSPN Prep Update. We'll be back with more next week. For Hannah, JB, and the rest of the NSPN crew, I'm Ryan Phelps saying so long from the Neighborhood Sports Network.